From translation, ISV International Standard Version, this 207 day of the year. Today, we are reading passages Ecclesiastes 9-12 Ecclesiastes chapter 9, verses 1 to 18. I applied my mind to all of this, examined the righteousness of the righteous, and discovered that the righteous person dies in spite of his righteousness, and also that the wicked person lives a long life in spite of his evil deeds. I concluded that it's better for everyone to enjoy themselves, because there is a future for them. For it will be a blessing to be on the earth, but the dead are not aware of anything, they have no further reward, and even their memory is forgotten. Their love, their hatred, and their jealousy have already disappeared, and they will never again have a portion in what is done under the sun. Here is my conclusion: as long as one is alive, there is hope. A living dog is better off than a dead lion. For the living know that they will die, but the dead don't know anything. There is no longer any reward for them, because the memory of them is forgotten. Their love, their hatred, and their jealousy have already disappeared, and they will never again have a portion in what is done under the sun. Go, eat your food with gladness, and drink your wine with a cheerful heart, for God has already approved your deeds. Let your clothes always be white, and never let oil be lacking on your head. Enjoy life with your beloved wife during all the days of your fleeting life that God has given you on earth during all your fleeting days. For that is your portion in life, and in your labor that you work at under the sun. Whatever your hands find to do, do it with all your might, because there is no work, planning, knowledge, or wisdom in Sheol where you're going. I again observed under the sun that the race is not to the swift, the battle is not to the strong, food is not to the wise, wealth is not to the intelligent, and favor is not to the skillful. Since time and unforeseen circumstances overtake them all. For no one knows what is to happen, since who can tell him what will happen? I also observed the following example of wisdom under the sun, and it seemed important to me. There was a small city with few men in it. A great king came against it, surrounded it, and built huge siege works against it. Now a poor wise man was found in the city, and he delivered the city by his wisdom. Yet no one remembered that poor man. So I concluded, wisdom is better than strength, but the wisdom of the poor man is despised, and his words are not heeded. The wise words of the quiet are heard above the shouting of a ruler among fools. Wisdom is better than weapons of war, but a single sinner destroys much good. Ecclesiastes chapter 10, verses 1 to 20. Dead flies cause a perfumer's ointment to ferment and stink, so a little foolishness is more weighty than wisdom and honor. A wise man's heart inclines to the right, but a fool's heart to the left. Even when a fool walks along the road, he lacks sense and shows everyone else that he's a fool. If the ruler's anger rises against you, don't leave your post, for calmness allays great offenses. There is an evil I have seen under the sun, like an error that proceeds from a ruler. Fools are placed in high positions, while the rich sit in low places. I have seen slaves on horses, while princes walk on the ground like slaves. He who digs a pit may fall into it, and a serpent may bite him who breaks through a wall. He who quarries stones may be hurt by them, and he who splits logs may be endangered by them. If the iron is blunt and one doesn't sharpen the edge, he must use more strength, but wisdom helps one to succeed. If a serpent bites before it is charmed, there is no advantage for the charmer. The words of a wise man's mouth are gracious, but a fool's lips swallow him up. The beginning of his words is foolishness, and the end of his talk is wicked madness. Yet a fool multiplies words, though no one knows what is to be. Who can tell him what will happen after him? The toil of fools wearies them, for they don't know how to go to the city. Woe to you, land, whose king is a servant, and whose princes feast in the morning. Blessed are you, land, whose king is a nobleman, and whose princes feast at the proper time, for strength, and not for drunkenness. Because of laziness, the roof sags, and because of idle hands, the house leaks. A feast is prepared for laughter, and wine makes life happy, and money is the answer for everything. Do not curse the king even in your thoughts, nor curse the rich even in your bedroom, for a bird of the sky may carry the sound, and a winged creature may make the matter known. Ecclesiastes chapter 11, verses 1 to 10. Cast your bread on the surface of the water, for after many days you may find it. Give a portion to 7, yes, even to 8, for you don't know what disaster may happen on earth. When clouds are full, they empty rain on the earth. Whether tree falls to the south or to the north, the tree stays wherever it falls. He who watches the wind will not sow, and he who observes the clouds will not reap. Just as you don't know the path of the wind, or how bones are formed in a pregnant woman's womb, so you don't know the work of God who makes everything. Sow your seed in the morning and don't stop working until evening, since you don't know which of your efforts will succeed, whether they will both do equally well. Light is sweet, and it is pleasant for the eyes to see the sun. For if a person lives many years, let him rejoice in them all, but let him remember the days of darkness, for they will be many. Everything that is to come will be futility. Rejoice, young man, while you are young, and let your heart be glad in the days of your youth. Follow the impulses of your heart and the desires of your eyes, but know that God will judge you for all these things. So remove sorrow from your heart, and put away pain from your body, because youth and the prime of life are fleeting. Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verses 1 to 14. So remember your Creator in the days of your youth, before the difficult days come, and the years draw near when you will say, I have no delight in them. Before the sun, the light, the moon, and the stars are darkened, and the clouds return after the rain. On the day when the keepers of the house tremble, and the strong men stoop. When the grinders cease working because they are few, and those who look through the windows grow dim. When the doors to the street are shut, and the sound of the mill fades. When one rises at the sound of a bird, and all the daughters of song grow faint. When they are afraid of heights and of dangers on the road. When the almond tree blossoms, the grasshopper drags itself along, and the caper berry fails, for man goes to his eternal home, and mourners go about the streets. Remember him before the silver cord is snapped, and the golden bowl is broken, before the pitcher is shattered at the spring, and the wheel is broken at the well, and the dust returns to the earth as it was, and the spirit returns to God who gave it. Futility of futilities, says the teacher. Everything is futile, because the teacher was wise, he taught the people what he knew. He carefully weighed and examined and arranged many proverbs. The teacher sought to find delightful words, and to write accurately truthful sayings. The words of the wise are like goads, and the collected sayings are like firmly embedded nails given by one shepherd. Be warned, my son, of anything in addition to them. There is no end to the making of many books, and much study wearies the body. Having heard everything, I have reached this conclusion. Fear God and keep his commandments, because this is the whole duty of man. For God will bring every act to judgment, including every hidden thing, whether good or evil.